So I want to discuss a little bit the technique of moving a meridian. So you can see a meridian as a river of energy, and a river has banks. So it is like a certain area is more open to the energy, and the other energy to the left and to the right, and it's less open. So you can compare it really to a normal river, where when there is no ground, the water can grow freely, but also the water permeates the ground and goes sideways as well. And it's the same with the meridian. So in a way there is a main stream where the energy flows quickly, and then the energy is in a way dissipating into the surrounding area, into the surrounding tissues. So what we want to do is in a way move the open space. And the open space in itself is nothing. So you cannot really move the open space. But what you can do is get the energy flow itself to move the open space. So in the same way that a river cuts a bed through the stone and through the soil, in the same way also a meridian cuts its own bed through the body. And by, in a way, forcing the river to flow differently, ultimately a new bed will start to appear. And the technique has basically two parts. One, creating the new bed. Two, sealing off the old bed. Because otherwise you get a fork in the river, and then you have, instead of one meridian, you have two meridians. And this can also happen naturally, by the way, that the meridian splits itself or separates itself, or in a way turns into a swamp if the bedding is too soft. So what you need to do to create a new bedding for the meridian is the flow needs to be quite strong, it needs to be quite fast. It needs to really dictate, like, okay, this is how it's going to be, this is where I'm going to be. It needs to be more young than the body. It needs to, in a way, dictate to the body, this is what we'll do. And likewise, the body needs to be in a very yin state. It needs to be in a very receptive state, allowing itself to be changed. So if the person is nervous or stressed or whatever, then this technique will not work. You simply cannot do it because the body cannot listen. So step one, if you find this problem, relax the client. You can do a little massage of the area, you can put some oil on it to relax it, make sure it is warm, put some pressure on it. So just massage it very gently like this, just with some pressure, relaxing it. You can also put some warm towels on it or things like this. A warm water bottle to really make the area as soft, as receptive and relaxed as possible. So once the body is prepared, it is in a very yin state, then we can make the energy inside the meridians more yang. So we can energize our hands, charge them with our hara, so the energy in our hands becomes strong. Test the energy, so it should be at least shoulder width. Move them to about 10 centimeters from the body and move relatively rapidly so that the energy becomes more yang, more strong. And that you get a strong, fast flow of energy moving through the meridian. So now the stage is set for moving the meridian itself. And we do this by attracting the energy of the meridian in a crosswise way. So the energy in our hands needs to match the energy in the meridian. So what we do is we place our hands on either your own or the client's heart or small intestine. So if you're working with the heart meridian, place your hands on the heart of your client or on your own heart. If you're working with the small intestine meridian, place your hands in the middle of the belly, so it will pick up the correct energy. The energy is attracted to a similar energy. So what we're now going to do, now that we have the correct energy in this case for working with the small intestine meridian, it is a little bit like plucking the strings of a harp. So we follow the meridian and feel that here at the heart it bends inward. And here it bends outward again and becomes normal. So we need to pull it outward in this case. So there's two techniques you can use. One is you lay a trail of energy to where you want the meridian to move. This is the most gentle technique, which I would advise to use. So you follow the meridian. Here I notice that it should be going straight down, but it's actually starting to move towards the heart. And instead of following the meridian, I just allow the energy to flow out of my hand into the body. And I create a trail of fire chi, and you're in a way, like in a way with almost with a chalk line marking here should the meridian be, and just keep on doing that. And when the energy of this mark you're making is stronger than the original meridian, then the original meridian will gravitate towards it. Like the heavier body of energy will attract the smaller energy. So you create a very strong line of fire chi, and then the other one will just be absorbed by the new pattern which you have created. And this is one method which you can use, which is quite gentle. So the second technique I'll demonstrate with the heart chakra itself. So you take the energy of the heart and instead of creating the new pattern, you in a way start pulling, as I said, like the strings of a harp, pulling the energy to where you want it to be. And just like a string, it will tend to bounce back to its old location. So you pull it, you allow the energies to connect, really give this some time, usually 10 to 20 seconds, so that the energy in your fingertips will connect to the energy in the meridian, and then you slowly move sidewards and the energy will follow. And same here, and you pull the energy outward to where the meridian should be. And often this technique feels a little bit uncomfortable for the person because they feel they're getting a little bit imbalanced, or that their energy is shifting, so certain parts of the body will go warm or cold. This is the same also if you're moving the other meridian with a different technique, and this is quite normal. So some people also feel they need to throw up, or they get the hiccups or yawn or other things. It's quite normal for the body to react to a shift in energy. So you're in a way just gluing your hand to the meridian and then slowly pulling it towards where it should be. So now that we have the meridian in the correct spot, we need to make sure that the weakness of the chakra doesn't pull them away again. So again, we charge our hands with our hara, so it's just neutral life force which is there, and then just stimulate the chakra to make it more open, more strong, so that the chakra will stop pulling in the energy. As I said, this is just a short-term solution because ultimately people just need more time or better circumstances so that they can deal with them. And it's also possible for the opposite to happen, that if a chakra is very strong, then actually it will push the meridians outward. Can also happen. So now that the chakra has stopped unbalancing the body, energy flows are now in the correct space. We have to make sure that they're also like flowing at the correct speed, because we sped them up a little bit to be able to move them better. So now we again use our energy to slow them down a bit, so that they move at a normal, healthy speed for the person retreating. So there's a balance between the yin and the yang again. So the places where the meridian was, they're now still quite open, so very easily new energy will move into there. So we need to fill this up with a very yin energy, very passive energy, so energies won't move into it very easily. So you're in a way like filling up the old meridian channel. So to do this, we will use the metal chi. So we will charge our hands with metal chi, and for this we will use the large intestine. So move your hands to the side of the belly, where the large intestine is, and pick up the metal chi from there. And then use this metal chi to really create a very smooth, solid energy body underneath your hand. So the place of the old meridian gets filled up with this energy. So the meridian won't move into that space anymore.